early evening, late afternoon. Is there anyone here today for the first time? I think so, no? First time. Okay, extra welcome. My name is Rona, and I've been connected with the meditation center of the Brahma Kumaris some 20 plus years. And we have these Thursday evening sessions to share on different topics pertaining spiritual insights and meditation. So tonight's session is on the point of life. And apparently not too many interest in the point of life today. When we talk about relationships or then places a bit more full. But wanted to start today with the question. When you think of this is a bit of philosophical kind of question. What is the point of life? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Silence? Okay. What is the point of life? Mm-hmm. Is there a meaning to our experiences? And do we just come, experience and go and finish? Fulfillment? To help and take care of the people around? To love each other? Hmm? Ah. We're here for a mission. We're here for a purpose. Hmm? There is a spiritual purpose to our being here. Okay. To experience life. Mhm. To grow. Very, very good. To grow means to learn. Is that what you mean? To learn, to grow, to develop. Very good. Any other thought, or you never thought of this question? Always. Especially now. What is the point of life? Especially when bad things happen, then you wonder why. Okay. We will come to a bit more. I'm just now trying to get a feel of what it is that you all are thinking. So there is a crazy God, and he just made some crazy thing for us to suffer. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Experiencing challenges of the day. Mhm. Anyone? Anyone else with some enlightening thoughts? The point of life? To be more aware. Mhm. Trying to be an instrument. Mhm. With to be more aligned with the true self and to whoever, whatever you interact with. Okay, very good. We were asking, what are your thoughts when you think of the point of life? En- Enjoy, journey happily, to have fun, to be grateful. That's it. Okay, that is possible. It's a deep question. Stay happy and make other people happy. Mm. Learning about self. Mm. Learning could be different for different people. Okay. Viola? There were two questions, no? Why am I here? And what is the purpose of life? Hmm? To serve. Very good. I am here to serve, to contribute. Anyone else? Some deep, insightful thing to share? To find out or to get a sense of purpose or meaning, we need to have a more clearer picture, or maybe we have a picture but we never really necessarily think about it in depth. Who we really are. What am I really? Before I can talk about bigger purpose or meaning, or I need to be more clear of who am I truly. No. to to know, for example, the purpose of this bouquet, I need to know what it consists of and what is the characteristic of the vase and the flowers and the water. No? Then I can get an idea of what purpose or point of it is. So to many things, if you see this whiteboard and you see these markers, and you see it standing against the wall, to get a sense of what is the point of this, you need to know what it does, no? And in which context it is being used and how it's being used. No? Then you have an idea. So same way, in the bigger context of life, and when we come to try and understand the meaning or purpose, we need to know ourselves, and we also need to know our characteristics and our possibilities and our potential. Then only it will become more clear what we are here to do. But one other way to approach it is to go back in time and to look at a little baby. What is the first thing that babies do when they come into this world? They don't cry, they make them cry. That is another thing. They don't really come in the world crying. They are made to cry. But then, say the first year, what is it that babies do? They explore, they grow and develop. They're always happy. And how do you know that they are happy? They smile. So maybe the purpose, the point of life is to smile. Huh? They're fearless. No, when children are too small, they don't know what is fear. They're fearless. That is why they're also exploring, and they're in AO with many things that are there. And they don't discriminate. They don't say, oh, I don't like this toy and I want that toy. Whatever comes in front of them, they play. That is another thing. They naturally play. What else they do? No one needs to teach them. They do these things naturally, no? So that is one way also to approach it. We come into this world, and what is it that we naturally start doing? What else are we naturally doing? Eating and sleeping. Eating and sleeping, they learn. But even the eating and the sleeping has a higher purpose. No? So that they can grow, for example, and that they can develop, for example, and that they can be more alert when they are awake and not eating. Very good. They naturally want to form connections and relations. No? This is a simple thing, but it gives you already an idea. But we kind of get alienated from that, no? Mm. Yeah. Or maybe they kind of feel connected somehow and just reinforce. Hmm. What else do babies do? They look to their parents, yeah, and they kind of feel comforted with their parents, but also what do they do with parents? They look to their parents, but for what? They imitate parents. They imitate parents. They imitate parents. Hmm. When you're really small, you look to them and you do what they do. You do how they do. And later on, when you're a little bigger, you want to be like how they are. And then later on, we get bit other ideas through other means. But this is what, in the initial phases of life, we kind of naturally tend to do in a kind of normal environment. Hmm? So these are indications of why we are here. But we might lose track, no? We get off of that. How many here still play every day? How many of us still play every day? How many of us still at least have the feeling that we are playing? We might not be playing with dolls, but do we have the feeling that we are playing? Do you still have that smile? On the subway. No, it is nice now when on the subway, the whole compartment full with adults, or if there is one little baby, that baby kind of just looking all over, smiling or playing or making eye contact. Very different from adult. What has happened? Fear. Fear and hmm? Conditioned. Yeah, we become conditioned. Disconnected. Yeah. We become doubtful of each other. Yeah. All kinds of different ideas when we grow. Judgmental. And so, whilst growing up, somehow in our process of socialization, maturing physically, our education, somewhere it is not aligned anymore with that initial tendencies with which we came into those in the world. Yeah, and maybe we also lost that point of life. So, who am I? Who am I truly? When you think of yourself, if you had to write an essay on who am I, what would you say? A point of light. A point of light. To be the point of light is the point of life. But properly explain. Truly, deeply for yourself. Who am I? What would you say? A soul seeking to feel home again. Okay. Today I'm making you think too much, no? But it's all sometimes good when you all are speaking also. Mm. Relaxed. Very good. Yeah. Like a baby sometimes. It is good to be childlike. Not childish, but childlike. To maintain that childlike nature. Who am I? Subodh? Am I putting you on the spot? Body, ego, soul. There are different levels. Ideas. Yeah, very good. Hmm. Background and born. Holding the hand of God, finding guidance. Mm. Okay. Trying to improve. I'm someone who's trying to improve. Mm. Anything else? Hmm? It changes from time to time. Yeah. Okay. Very. If I had to write an essay about who am I would more describe what I do, and the different roles that I play. It is very often this happens, no? And many times it is possible that we even define ourselves based on those roles. Now, we were having that discussion the other day. Say there is someone who is engineer, and how do you write that? Like this? Engineer. Sorry, my English. Someone is engineer, is a female and wife. Does this describe the person? It says something, but does it describe who I am? And could I deduct a sense of purpose from this? Hmm? Hmm? First of all, engineer and wife were not there at birth. So definitely that is something that is added to who I truly am, isn't it? Female, is that who I am? There was a time in the womb, have you ever seen the little, when it is not that defined, but there is already a living being. So there is a time when this is not defined, and even if it is physically defined, it is not defined yet in the consciousness of the one who is in the womb. So even gender is something that belongs to the body, but the living being inside may be beyond. So one thing that spiritual knowledge tries to reinforce is we are living beings, conscious beings, and we have all kinds of roles that we play, roles that we act out, costume that we put on. So if we were to draw, what is this? What else is this? Human being? Sorry, let me put some hair. What else is this? Okay. What else? Smiling. What else? Wife. Okay. What else? Sister. What else? What else? Human. We were talking about body, yeah? We were talking about living beings. So, what is this? One way, one way to look at this is the vehicle of the living being. Hmm? This is the costume of the living being. And with that costume, that being plays out all these different roles, isn't it? And so the living being is the one who is experiencing everything. The living being is the one who has memories. The living being is the one who has ideas. Not out of this mouth, ideas come, certain concepts come, certain words come, but they do not belong to this mouth. They come from the being that uses this mouth and share these thoughts with all of you, isn't it? So what I'm trying to go at is there are different levels on which we can look at ourselves. One is that level of consciousness, the being, the experiencer, the the player, you can also say, or the driver, or the observer, the one who is driving this vehicle. And with this vehicle, all kinds of scenes can be played out. If a bit technical, but this is a bit description. But the one who is creating thoughts, the one who is creating feelings, the one who is being motivated to do certain things, the one who is inspired, the one who is having emotions, the one who creates habits and tendencies is the being. And that being expresses through the body. And what is being expressed is what we call life. This makes sense? Now, why would we do all of that? To express our true self. Say, for example, you have a painter and he paints. Why does he do that? To express the self? Expressing thoughts or expressing his feelings? He has a call for it. Want to express. So part of our nature is to express and to create. Very good. So part of the point of life is to express and to create. Isn't it? But even if it doesn't, it still is getting expressed. Yeah. Yeah, very good. But if that ego is there and it is dominant inside, that is what will get expressed. Yeah. To express, just like a painter, he might paint any kind of thing. But the purpose is to paint something that will touch others, that will invite, or that will put someone to think. So deeper behind this, maybe one way to look at the point of life or the purpose of life is we are here using this vehicle to express, to create, to share, to serve, to share, what is the word? Feelings and thoughts and emotions. We are here to play the game of life. And you can play it in different ways. You can play it in a wise way. You can play it in a skillful way. You can play it in a good way, or you can play it in a dangerous way. Or you can play it unprepared, or you can play it at a loss. Hmm? Hmm? Why what? Are we asked to play, or are we just playing? Hmm? If it is your nature to play, does someone need to ask you to play? You want to play. And you play because you like to play. But then one thing is you like to play, but another thing is you need to know how to play. And if you don't know how to play, what happens? You can always learn, yeah. Yeah. But if you are in a play but you forget that it is a play, what happens? You lose the spirit of game. You lose the spirit of game because you forget first of all, you forget that it is a play, and then you're not necessarily even prepared. All of these things are things, if you go back really to origins, if you go back to that baby-like state, you remember? I don't remember. Do you remember from previous life? No, but this is a good question. If if I if I get bored, no, maybe I should say, if the same thing comes again and again and again and again, maybe I am not seeing what what is there. No, in any setting, if it comes again and again and again and again, what does that mean? Something I'm not seeing. I would not say like that. Definitely not. Even if we just look at history of human history, 100 years ago, life in New York City was very different than it is now. That is not life. There are so many more things. No, I mean, we can always find reasons to be, hmm? we can always find reasons to be bored. We can always find reasons to be, what is the opposite of appreciative? We can always find reasons to feel what is this all about. But we can also always find reasons to be enthusiastic. It depends on how I look at things. Hmm. No, what it means you will die, the death of the body. Hmm. 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 But does it, a child? But to just to come back to that childlike stage, does the child need a reason to play? Exactly. And does does it need a reason to be happy? Mm. Why? Okay, what we have studied is what we have studied. But from your own experience, isn't happiness a refined emotion? Hmm? A refined emotion. No one wants happiness? Huh? And that is different. What I'm trying to say, superficial pleasures is one thing, but a deeper sense of joy, a deeper sense of fulfillment. Hmm. Very good. Yeah, very good. Maybe one reason why we are sometimes feeling bored or empty or monotonous or robotic or lack of enthusiasm is because we are not touching on those more refined feelings and emotions. You'd rather be bored than in pain. Huh. But is that the purpose of life? Mm. I'd rather be bored than sad. I mean, okay, that is that is survival mode, but I don't think that is very high. Yeah. You get the fruit. The fruit, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So we take birth and go through life because of karmas from the past. Hmm. Okay, good. This whole spirit, um, just reflect on this, no? Because it is a bit of a new idea. It is a bit revolutionary idea. But if you truly observe life and cycles of life, if you observe yourself, one deep instinct in all of us is to play. There are many instincts within us. Other instincts within us is we all want to be free. We all want to be loved, and we want to love. Another instinct is the instinct for justice. Another instinct is the instinct for equality. Another deeper instinct may be, what is maybe not the right word, but another tendency, a deep tendency within us is to be useful. We will somehow want to feel that our existence makes a difference. That we are useful to ourselves, to others, to our environment. We want to be happy, or at least in harmony, if the word happiness doesn't resonate with you, but a certain sense of harmony. We all want to belong. There is a deep need in human beings to belong. And we do all kinds of things to belong. There is also a deeper tendencies towards cleanliness. Cleanliness, purity, honesty, truth. These are like deeper things within us. We like to journey also, many of us. Journey, learn new things, explore. We like to be creative. These are all part of our nature. And if we do not live in alignment with this, we get into those feelings of boredom or sadness. Now, spiritual wisdom says that lives provide for you to express all of this. Life provides for you to experience all of this. But for that, you have to be in the right frame of mind. Now, say someone goes to play, what is the baseball? If someone goes to play baseball, but he doesn't know what baseball is. He doesn't know what the bat is for. He doesn't know what the ball is for. He doesn't know the rules of the game. He doesn't know who the opponent is and who his teammates are. What will happen? It will be like a war, no? It will be like what is the word? It will be a struggle. So maybe this world and life is meant for us to play with all our skills, and it is like a sophisticated game. But we forgot that it was a play, what it was meant for, what to use, what the rules are, what our bat is, what the ball is for. And to come back to this being, so here is the physical world. These are bodies and objects. And the beings of consciousness invisible souls take on this, and this is the bat to play with. But the sophisticated bat. It has brain, it has sense organs, all kinds of things to play the game. And you get, and in a game, what happens? In a baseball game, what happens? Someone throws a ball at you. You have to hit it. And then you have to run. So there are many different things happening in that game. So same way here. You are the player, you get a bat, and life throws all kinds of balls at you. And you have to try to hit the home run. Now, why do they play baseball? To have fun. Originally, the idea is to have fun, and what else? To show off your skills. Yeah, to express your skills. Isn't it? It is simplistic in terms of the game of baseball. But in this bigger picture, that would be very much possible. And in this game, is there a better game than this? Have you, in what is it, Toys R Us, have you seen better games than this? Or in the video games? This is 3-dimensional game, past, present, future, many, many years. Even sleep is part of the game also. So maybe when we are stuck somewhere is because we are not seeing the bigger picture. Maybe when we are stuck, we are not understanding the what is it, the scene in the game. How you say that? When they play Monopoly, no, or Snakes and Ladders, every step has its own meaning, has its own hidden secret behind, or hidden treasure or lesson to learn. So in this bigger game of life, there are so many different aspects. And whenever these things come, maybe they are just trying to tell you, hey, you have so many skills, you're not using them. These scenes comes, these situations come for you to step up and to bring out more. Now, if you, for example, play tennis, if you always play tennis with someone who is less good at it as you, will you progress? You always need, you start with just the wall. No, you play against the wall, but then you need an opponent, and then every time stronger, isn't it? So maybe when situations in life come to us that we feel are too hard or too overwhelming, maybe it is life telling you, look, you have much more in you. It's not coming out. Bring it out. People here don't like to play. I'll give a short anecdote and then I'll hand over to Sister Luz. We have a guest today. This was a cricket player, and maybe some have heard this story already. This was in the early 90s. Australian cricket player. He was a pitcher, a bowler, but he was fast bowler. And he was famous. He was a truck driver come cricket player, and he was a kind of big, strong man. And he was part of the national team of Australia. And he was known for his fast bowling, and the batsman used to get scared if he had to throw the ball, because many of the batsmen used to get head injury because the ball was so fast he did not even see, they would not even see it sometimes, so it would hit him. And so anyway, there is the Commonwealth Games cricket, and the Australian team comes to London, and so the reporters want an interview with him. So this reporter asks him, "Don't you feel bad?" He said, "Why?" "Because your bowling caused so much injury to so many cricket player." And he bit not that university level educated, so he said, "Why? I have ball, I use ball. They have bat, they have to use their bat. Why should I feel bad? I have a ball, I use it, and I use it good. They have bat, they should use their bat. They should use it good. Why should I feel bad?" It is the way he expresses simple, but there is point. He has, this is what his skill is, so he's perfecting it. So we have this sophisticated bat, first of all, body, brain, but also we have an endless set of skills. We have all these beautiful tendencies that I just mentioned. Justice, wisdom, you have a mind to think, you have an intellect to discern. Maybe the point of life is to use them fully. Play the game of life. But to play, part of being able to play and enjoy the play is to know yourself, and also to know that you have a home beyond the play. And this is the other part. Souls come from the non-physical dimension, but not just I am soul. Everyone is a soul. And we all come here to play the game, and at the end of the game, what do? You go home. So at the end of the game, we will all go home. This is a spiritual perspective on life, how to approach life. And I would just like to invite you to play with it. Soul is a player. We have come here to play the game. Remember the self as the spiritual being. Remember the home also, the world of souls. And remember the game. And try to get insights into the rules and the dynamics of the game. No, someone mentioned karma is one of the dynamics of this game. And it is a wonderful and beautiful systems within this game. And we miss the beauty of the game if we stay in a victim consciousness as opposed to a player consciousness. We miss the greatness and the intricacies and the sophistication of the game and the wisdom that is there if we stay with a limited perspective. Anyway, this is just, tonight is a bit philosophical, but for all of you to just think about it. We have Sister Luz, actually Dr. Luz, and I took her place because one of the roles she used to play is a pediatrician. She is from Suriname, South America, and she coordinates the activities of the Brahma Kumaris there for the past, how many years? 20 years or so. And she is on her way to India for retreat there in the headquarters, and she's few days with us. So I asked her to share on the point of life also, her insights. Dear friend of mine.
Om Shanti. I'm sitting. Happy to be back. Some of you I've met, some faces I recognize from the last time I was here. And it's a privilege to be with you and share some insights. I'm a little bit stuffed, so please excuse me if I'm sniffing. One of the things that I was thinking of whilst listening to Rona was that any game you can enjoy when you know the rules, isn't it? And I'm thinking that many a times we forget that if we want to enjoy, we have to know. So we think we know and we just go by what we think we know. And then when we get stuck, we say, were there any rules here? You know? How come I got stuck? It's one of the things that comes to mind many times is when you fly kite. Any of you fly kite? You know how to fly kite? How of you seen how to fly kite? Any one of you flew kite yourself? Yes. Okay. So try to imagine now you have this big kite. Yeah? It took quite a while to prepare it, but you have this big kite prepared. And it's the season, the wind is there, it's open, you know, it's everything in the environment is very good for flying kite. So now you're there with this big kite, you know, it's small kite. Let's start with a small one. When you want a small kite, if you want to fly a kite, what do you need? Huh? You need a string. Okay. You need good breeze. What else? So nature is providing. No? So what do you need now? Nature is providing. Nature is providing the breeze. Nature is providing the environment. You start preparing your kite. What else? You start preparing your string. What else? So now it's a small kite, no? So what else? If you want to prepare the kite, some things you have to take into consideration. Huh? Safety? Yeah, okay. That is environment. You need open sky. But if you want to prepare the kite itself, or you buy kites in New York, if you ever made a kite, or you want to have the children to fly kite, you have to know about the kite, no? If it's imbalanced, it needs, you know, this structure of the kite should be very proper, isn't it? If it's not balanced well, you will never be able to fly the kite. So you have to look at a balance, you know, they make with light material. So, okay, this is a small kite. if you make it with paper or whatever material, it needs a tail, no? It needs a tail too. Huh? And a good kite needs. Because otherwise it will never fly, no? Because it needs balance. It needs balance. If it's imbalanced, it will never go high. No? Okay, so now you're prepared. You have a small kite, you just have some open space, the wind is there, breeze is there, and you have to do it. So how do you do it now? You run. When will you run? Why do you run? Yes. Yes. So this is one of the rules, no? You will never fly a kite if you just stand like this. So you need a little, So you run with the kite, and then what next? Huh? Okay, then what? What do you have to do? The breeze is there, but what is your responsibility then? Let it go. So you have to release. No? Because if you hold on to the string, it will never go up. But it needs you to release the string. And depending on, the size of the kite, you have to really control it. Otherwise, the breeze will go with your string and your kite, or it will never go up, isn't it? Easy? So when we are with the kids, we're happy we can run with them again and let go, and then when it's going higher and higher, you enjoy more, isn't it? Okay, so now it's a big kite. It's not that small one, it's a big one. So what is next? Can you imagine a little bit? What do you need more? More strength, yes. You need more strength and you need strong hands. And lately I was sharing it because, this memory came back when we were small. My father he liked to go with us, and we were like 6 of us, kids, 3 brothers, 3 sisters. And so to him, when it was holiday seasons, which is now in Suriname, so this is why this came up, then every year he used to make a bigger kite, and my brothers grew bigger too, so then, the kite grew bigger. But then you really have to be very specific in how to make the kite. It's very specific in how to make the tail and how long you make the tail. And you have to be specific about the strength of the thread, of the rope. Because you cannot use the same one that you use with a small kite. It needs to be very strong. And the nice thing about when you want to fly a big kite, you can't do it by yourself. Ever do it? Ever seen it? Because once you let go of it, you really need a lot of strength to hold it, isn't it? And the more you want to enjoy that game of flying kite, you need others with you, and you need to be very strategic also. Some people use stones or whatever, they tie it before they let go of it. So that, this rope or this string is very straight. If it's too loose, won't fly. So it should, if you want to enjoy it, you have to think of these things. And then the higher it goes up, the more you enjoy, isn't it? Huh? Yes. And once it's in a certain level, you don't have to do much. Just make sure it's tight and you enjoy, So I was looking at this lately and I was thinking that, this is how life is with us too, isn't it? So when you know the rules of the game, it becomes very enjoyable. Yeah? Every game. Once you know the rules, it becomes enjoyable. Because that gives the freedom. Knowing the rules gives the freedom to enjoy. Which is a very interesting concept to think about. No? That if we want to enjoy, we have to go by the rules. Even in the traffic, if you want to be safe in the traffic and you want to go in, you have to go in the flow, isn't it? You have to understand the rules, and then go in the flow and trust that you will be safe. Any game. This is one thing that in spirituality, because all of us, we go through ups and downs. Doesn't matter how much experience you have in life, but we go through up and downs. It's part of it. When you fly the kite, it will go like this. But we can enjoy it if we know that is part of the game. And so, lately someone asked us, why is life such a hardship? Why is life such a hardship? It's the same thing. It becomes a hardship when I don't know how to play. If you know how to play, it's a challenge. And then you know that by the challenge, you will be better and stronger after you pass it. Yeah? And enjoy bits of it too. And so, this was like, how much am I prepared that things will not always be as I want them to be? One of the rules. They will not always be as I want them to be, but they are as they are. And so if I can use this rule, then if anything comes to me, I can see it as a challenge, or I can see it as a problem, or I can see it as hardship. It's up to me. No? And they say that the stronger you become, the harder the test will be. Isn't it? A wrestling game will not be a nice game if you have a, how do you call them? Featherweight and a heavyweight together. Everyone will say, this is not possible. How can you put these two in one ring to fight? Everyone will say it's not the law. We can't do it. So if you want to have the wrestling game on a quality level, you put two wrestlers with the same strength, isn't it? So if we want to become stronger in life, what do? You run for the challenge, and you say, it's a big problem, or you say, okay, it came my way, I have to do what I have to do. And this is one of the rules, Do I understand what it is that I have to do? Do I understand? And to me, this is the, thing about the sense of purpose. It's about 5 years that I have been thinking of sense of purpose quite deeply, because, it shifted some things in my life. And then I started realizing that it is not what people expect from me, but it's what I can add and contribute to life. No? Which is, I'm taking responsibility of what I can contribute. So I only can take that responsibility if I know what I have to contribute. So I have to do this deeper work in understanding what it is that I can offer to life. You get me? Do you get me? Huh? If I start understanding myself on a higher level, then when there is anything happening, it doesn't matter what it is, can I be in that state or stage where I know what to offer in that situation to make it light and to help out? Sometimes it's very tricky, but it's very subtle too. This morning I was in a situation where the driver lost the way to come to Manhattan. I was alone with this driver in the car. And he didn't know where to go. He put his GPS. He knew where he had to go. But when he put on the GPS, he got confused. So we found ourselves somewhere. I don't know where it was. But it was a very interesting situation where it was a narrow alley and he had to drive and it was only one way. And when we came at the end, there was no way he could go back. But then what to do in that situation? I can get confused with him and start, or you choose to be calm and just ease him, make it easy, make it simple. So that was the thing that I could do in that situation. But you have to be in the moment and to understand what it is that you have to do. Otherwise it will be more chaos, no? And so sense of purpose to me now, in this, stage where I'm in, is to have that clarity about the self, what you can offer in the moment. What can I contribute? Small things, no big things. Big things, the small things, when we add them, will always be big. But if I cannot see the small things, I will not be able to do the big things. Yeah? Yes. And peace. Just quiet, calm. Stay calm. And just your staying calm helps the situation. You see? And so this is for me it's quite a deep spiritual thing, because how can I know what to do in the moment? How do I know? What is my sense of purpose in that moment? Because we always want to think of big, big, big things, no? But it's moment and moment and moment and moment add to create my purpose. So this is, something that I would like to share with you, that it's every moment that I can contribute from that insight that I have about who I am and what I can offer, that will add to my sense of purpose. Isn't it? Just think of it. Yeah? It's a little bit different way of looking at it, because we always want to, I'm recently also talking to someone who said, I don't know what life gave to me, I don't know what it is. I said, did you forget whatever you did all these past 30 years? Start looking at what moments there were in your life where you had contributed something to the life of others. You see? Because that is what creates that higher purpose for us. And sometimes our eyes got blurred. Sometimes we forget. And it's like this big kite, if I want to fly high, I will need others around me to help me to hold that. So when we see that, when we understand that, if I want to fly this kite and I want to enjoy flying kite, I have to see how many others are there. And they don't have to be there physical. They don't have to be there physically. But their way of thinking of me, because, their blessings, their good feelings about whatever I put out in their lives before, that will support me. That will help me. You understand? It will help me, but it's something very subtle. Because sometimes we want to see people and we want to have people around us, but when everything I put out good will come to me and help me. Everything. Even if I lifted someone's bag out of the shop, if I help someone crossing the street, anything, it will help me. So just do that small things, no? Just those little things, and they will support me when I am in need. And then I will see, that things will happen. Yes. 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 Yep. You see, same thing as the baby. I personally work with young children, so that helped me a lot to understand also. This smile that a baby gives. No discrimination. I see you all start smiling now. So it's just this sharing of the smile makes other people smile too. Only talking about them and I see smiles coming up. So it stays with us, no? It stays with us. So it's that, it's sharing from that pure core of who we are. And we are pure. We are those beautiful beings of light. We are those beautiful, unique spiritual beings. Yeah? Isn't it? So just remind ourselves, and we will do something good. Smile, share a smile, share a good thought, share some good feelings. Little things, but very important to fly that kite. Yeah? And the environment will be there for us. Yeah? It will be there for us. We don't have to think. Okay? Okay? Commentary? Okay. Ulam. Ulam. Okay. Shining, radiating light. Filled with peace and love. Pure and powerful light. The core of my being. Is peace and love. Which I radiate naturally. Which connects me with other stars, other beings of light. When I connect on this level, It's a natural exchange of beauty, a natural exchange of love and peace. A natural exchange of virtues and qualities. Which makes life purposeful and meaningful. My being, the point of light, helps me to find the point of life. Remind myself again and again of that inner beauty that makes me who I am. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you. We just wanted to announce a special program next week, Wednesday. We are having a special guest speaker also, Dr. Stephen Post. The information is in our program. He has just written a book, Love and God on Route 80. So we wanted to invite all of you. It is from 6 to 8, but it is on Wednesday, and on Thursday evening there is the normal session. For more information, just have a look at the flyer. And you're most welcome to bring anyone for that. Okay. Thank you. Those who are for the first time, if you would like to receive our programs, on the desk is a mailing list. Please put your email. And see you next week.